Alright, welcome back to Day Traders. It is a beautiful and sunny day today here in PA. I hope you're out there enjoying this beautiful afternoon and what we call life. And if you haven't, take a second, take a minute, be thankful, be grateful. That being said, let's get into today's trade recap. And I'm going to break down yesterday. Not a great day trading, had some things going on in the afternoon and just never got to this. And it reminded me of one of those days where trading with Matt Coward, I believe that's his last name, talks about how you got to fire when your system says to fire. And, given markets inherently want to go up, I had been more long bias, and that's more of his system. And I literally, I fired long here. I fired long. This just cut out. Here we go. Alright, got the dual monitors here. And I fired long again here. All failing. I was down about 800 at the peak. And then I did short like right here, caught a little bit, but I'm like, or at the end, I'm like, let me not. And then I did long a little bit in here. I tried to catch some of this, and then I'm just like, we're so bearish. I'm like, let me not. So I ended up was down 800, like 35. I got down 555, and at that point, I just wasn't making great decisions. Should have stopped at 435. Even the first trade, that I lost like 235, and just we moved about 2 standard deviations in terms of the options chains, and I don't know, everything that goes on, inherently with that, I do have to get more versed and more educated on that subject. But that's one thing that Matt bases his system off of. And when you fall or jump one risk actual interval, he tends to stay out of the market. It gets crazy because it's going to be irrational longer than you can remain solvent. And we saw that yesterday where things look great, and yes, we're on the 5-minute here, but how often do we fall 1500, even 500 without this type of move to the upside? So I got burned on all three. And I ended up taking some back here. Even I took some back, along the way in here, but then took some back, and I'm like, you know what? And I did make 5-6 trades throughout that day on the main account. I was on my main funded account, so that's down from like 1530 to like little under $1,000, like 985 or something like that. So lost about a little over the limit that I wanted of 4,500. But I did trade well in terms of mitigating risk yesterday, and it was just one of those days where you have to fire your system. And I'm just getting back to that because I've been a little bit way too overcautious, and then I don't fire and I miss trades, and it's affecting me because I've left thousands, probably $10,000 to $15,000 at least on the table over the last month and a half. Because these are beautiful, and it was just tough to catch these shorts as they. But yeah, we just sold off hard yesterday. SOXL dropped, that is chips, and we just followed, tanked. So that being said, today, let's get into today. I was just about firing, and I typically don't trade the first 15 minutes, but I tailed Flow Zone, and I took literally $15 in these two because I'm just like, they were bad entries. This one really wasn't considering where we were, but I had the air people here at like 9:15, so I was dealing with a lot in this range, and I'm like, you know what, let's just get out, not chase. And they were leaving in this range. I got back to my desk right around here, and I'm like, this looks beautiful. And sometimes between the internet, I have this set up now about a week and a half with the dual monitors, and I'm running a pluggable dock station for those of you that know about that, and I'm running Display Link on a Mac, 8 gig, and I don't think I have enough power, so at some point I'm going to have to upgrade mini, something like that, desktop, to have a little bit more power. But between running the internet and then this and some other things, I was starting to lag, and my candles were not moving. My price was not changing. P and L. So I pulled the Mac from the dock, and it was still a little laggy. And I was in drawdown a decent amount, close to stop. Um, when it finally like got back and it was going my way, and I'm like, you know what? Back in my mind, like you probably shouldn't cut it, given where we were. And I started seeing this, and I'm like on the 5 minute. I'm like, all right, like this is setting up beautifully, and you see it would have been a great. I was gonna shoot for this range here, so that would have been like I literally took the retest of the Asia Open, so 29.90 to 28.7, or sorry, 28.840, about 150 points. That'd have been a beautiful move. But just given, I was just like, I had a red day yesterday, and I'm like, if this goes against me because my shit's cutting out and I'm just not paying attention, I'm just like, I'm gonna be pissed. So I'm like, let's just take it. And then never got back in. It was just hard and quick then. So, and then at this point, yeah, there's a little bit of room, but throughout the rest of the day, there wasn't much. I did switch over once I got back. I did cut the grass. Swapped over to another account. Took about like $50 or what, like 10 points, 12 points, 15 points. We got the little break above here, but I was going for defending of this level. And I originally, so I bought right here because we defended this, a little bit here, and we defended this level earlier. And if you zoom over a little bit in this range, not too much. As you see, we're grinding back down. So I assume we'll probably range down into here, drive back up, something like this. So then on this, I was trying to take these pops, and I originally, once we, popped up, I took it here, and then we came back down. I had a buy right around here, got filled, and then I just took the pop because I said to myself, we're early on the 10, we're early on the 5. We were starting to twist, not necessarily early on the 5, but we weren't getting that push, and we were flickering red on this TTM. And as you can see, we don't have to go green, we can go back red from teal. And I'm like, we've been more bearish than bullish on the day. We're not getting that push above, and really since the morning, since 11 a.m., we haven't really gotten back above this box that I have, this level that I've had in the past couple days of pretty much 28, 828, like 830 to 29, 9. So, I mean, it's not a small range, it's 70 points, but that box per flow zone. So, just given that, I'm like, you know what, we're not getting these pops. Let me just call it. It took $50 there. I was up 160 on the day, and very happy with how I traded, just given everything going on with the calls, the air, managing everything around me, and doing what I did. I mean, this could have been a lot better here because I just should have, like, this would have been a beautiful trade. This would have been $600-700 off of 2 contracts. So that, would have been phenomenal move there. Yeah, about like 500-600 because you figure 4 times 150. Because every contract on the micros, 2 actual dollars. So $2 per contract, 2 contracts, $4 per point, and if you get 150 points, it's a nice $600 move. So that's just why I've sized down, because I am trying to trade better, catch these moves, and I don't have the leverage and the drawdown on these accounts to really withstand bigger moves. And I did want to fire more yesterday, especially in this range in here. And I should have swapped accounts and not traded, but I do want to get a trade in on that main account. Haven't traded in a while, and then after taking those L's, I gotta get some back. And once that started happening, I was like, you know what? You're gonna revenge trade. You're gonna overtrade, and I shut it down. took that L. But yeah, should have swapped accounts rather than kept trading on that main account. But having $1,000 loss limit, and at that time I was still between like 700 and 800 down. It's tough to fire and give yourself room when you have these large moves, and we saw today early in the early in our session we had 100 point candles, 100.1 minute candles. It was at like, this is what you're at, what, 28,772, 28,886, over 100 points in 1 minute. Like, this is volatile. You can get your face ripped off. I tried catching this with flow, but again, with them, actually being here, it was tough to be focused, and I did not want to chase because I've been burnt, and the worst thing you can do is chase. Um, just given how the day went, and just kind of given where we were in the session, I was happy I shut it down. Wasn't getting the push that I wanted. You exit the market. So, you know, pretty good week so far despite the day yesterday. I do feel like I, managed risk well, managed the session pretty decently given how we went. And again, this does not happen often where this 3 times 1,500 points, and I was afraid to take this, and I took some, like barely anything, in here. I took like $150 and just got out because I'm like, we could reject here, we could reject here, and we were so bearish. So you just gotta fire, and that's what I've realized. I've gotten my head a lot in terms of having something you feel like you have to protect, and I've been more in the defensive mode. And shout out to my barber. I've also realized, like, in terms of my life, my personality, I seek conflict at times. I'm comfortable in conflict, that fight or flight, and that's not good. And when you look at my trading in the days where I have to pass an account, that's fight or flight. I can't flee. I have to fight. And $5 grand in a day, and you pass an account. So, that's something that I realized that I have to work on, and I really realized, like, you can't stress it. At the end of the day, treat it more like a game. It's numbers on a screen. That's all it is. It's a different game. And just enjoy life more and play with life. And I've realized, like, you can't always control and force life. No matter how many times I've learned that and listened to that, and trading really, helps it hit home because you really have to manage yourself, your emotions. I don't need more knowledge or more different indicators or this, that, the third. I just have to trust in the system, fire, and trust myself. I know enough. I have enough knowledge. It's just trust in your system, continue to fire, and you're gonna win out. So it's a lot easier, than I make it out to be. I shouldn't say it's easy. It's simple, in terms of that. But in terms of managing yourself and emotions, at times. And hey, I have 38 years of things that I'm still working through. So we learn, we grow, we continue to get better. Add some numbers on the board today. We come back tomorrow. So I appreciate you all for tuning in. Thank you. If you found any value, please like and subscribe. Stay up, stay blessed, stay positive. Make it happen. Peace.